Welcome to the JWK show. Let's get right into this episode. We do have a lot to talk about. First off, we do have from Mr. Pool, we have a Delta, and that was 7/20/2020. Smile, be happy, prepare overnight. We have vid with Smiling Faces song. And now we do have a new update from the Big Short. It has been quite a while since we've received an update. We can see, taking a look at his X.com banner, the last update was all the way back on May 31st, which was around a month and a half. So with the Big Short bag, it seems like we could see something big happening, and we have the latest riddle, and that is the days you thought belonged to dreams have quietly arrived, which is us getting rich off of XRP, cloaked in mist and light, waiting where the old path bends. And based on the current price action, based on the charts, based on everything going on, based on what we've been talking about in the past couple of videos, guys, we should see XRP going parabolic, XRP hitting double digits, and XRP holders getting rich. And this is something we've been waiting for a very long time, 7+ years, where it feels like that it might not even happen. It might be just a dream. But guys, this is now finally happening. Everything is coming into place. And we should see, as we've been talking about, an XRP price pump. So guys, this is very, very exciting to see. And we also have, at the same time, XRP surpassing McDonald's in market cap, becoming more valuable than the global fast food giant. That is a impressive feat. We are now behind American Express. We can see we have XRP ranked 77. They are the 77th biggest in terms of market cap in the entire world. That is just absolutely insane. And now we have XRP also overtaking Shell Oil in market cap. We have Ripple's XRP worth 211.41 billion, with Shell's at 205.92 billion. Again, another impressive feat. And we also have the Genius Act opening the floodgates. We have Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse talking about their stablecoins with eToro. Let's take a look at this.
Brad, let's talk about the stablecoin again. Congratulations on all of that. Are you going to be using that in your own products? How will it compare with XRP?
We absolutely will be using our own products. I mean, a little bit of history on this. Ripple has for years used stablecoins, U.S. dollar stablecoins, in certain corridors, depending upon which currency pairs we're dealing with, customer we're enabling, and frankly, sometimes it has been more efficient. And so we've used Tether in certain circumstances. We've used USDC. In fact, at one point, we were responsible for minting 20% of all USDC. And we kind of realized that there's an opportunity in the market as it continues to grow to, particularly for our customer set around, institutions. We felt like it was an opportunity for us to jump in. Look, I think as you look at the road ahead around stablecoins, I think the market's going to continue to grow a lot. I think when we decided to launch a stablecoin, it was probably about $120 billion market. Today, I think it's just shy of $200 billion. Some smart analysts forecast it's going to be a couple trillion in 5 more years. So I think the market is going to continue to grow for sure. Right now, the U.S. dollar is by far the most important stable coin, but I think you will see some activity in euro, maybe in yen. We shall see how far down that goes. But look, our goal is to make sure that the XRP ledger is the most efficient, the most trusted, the most utility, and having a stablecoin on the XRPL that is robust, efficient, reputable. Ripple has worked with institutions for years now, and I think we have a very trusted brand. And look, we also have a very large balance sheet.
Right, overall, one of the biggest things going on with Ripple, you could say one of Ripple's biggest product would be their RLUSD and eventually their other upcoming stablecoins. We have the RL Yen, RL CAD, RLMXN, and many, many more. And we also have Ripple's strategy. Let's take a look at this.
And I think that for XRP, this is even more important than potentially for Bitcoin. and would love, Brad, for you to talk a bit about sort of the strategy with banks, right? Because the strategy or my view of XRP was always, this is creating sort of a blockchain for banks to onboard the existing financial institutions into an infrastructure that's efficient as blockchain, but enables them to sort of transfer assets or between their customers, all of the fiat assets or other assets on a blockchain. So from that point of view, regulation and institutionalization is even more important.
Yeah. Look, I think there's no doubt Ripple has always viewed ourselves to some degree, and consistent with what Yoni described, as kind of a bridge between traditional finance and decentralized finance. And, said another way, it's like, okay, here's the legacy infrastructure with a new infrastructure. There needs, in our judgment, to be bridges between those. Some in crypto, I think early on, were really much, hey, there's going to be a separate, distinct, and it's going to be independent, and there's going to be, the one's going to win over time. And it's like, you're going to have a blended infrastructure for, I think, a very long time. And Ripple's really tried to enable that, as Yoni described, in working with financial institutions, enabling them to use these technologies. But really, if you go back in time, the XRPL, the XRP ledger...
Right, the biggest thing Brad Garlinghouse just said is Ripple working with financial institutions for them to use XRP. So we're about to see so much money flowing into XRP, and as we say, making the price of XRP go parabolic, all confirmed by Ripple CEO.
Was all about tokenizing and enabling the transfer of any type of assets. It was the first decentralized exchange DEX that was available, and we find ourselves, I think, and part of the excitement about what's going on in XRP right now is, without the headwinds of the SEC, some of those tools and capabilities that have always been there are now unlocked in a way that we don't have the headwinds of the SEC fighting with us about it. And I think particularly around some of the tokenization of other assets and leverage of a DEX, it really plays into where the world is today and where the world's heading.
And lastly, we have Trump Media buying $2 billion worth of Bitcoin and Bitcoin-related securities. We have Trump investing billions of dollars. This is just more absolutely insane crypto news. This is how bullish Trump is. And imagine how much money we will see Trump pouring into XRP eventually. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.